Well, let's see if the auto start can reach the F350, which has my newest vehicle on it over there. Let's see if the auto start reaches. I think it's lighting up. Let's see. Did you zip it? Is it gonna do it? Come on now. Nervous on camera. I was the same way. Come on, buddy. Oh yeah. Ta-da.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think of it? What do you think of it? Yes, no? You don't even want to look at it? Is it that ugly? Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I bought something. I bought a Jeep Wrangler. Shocking. But I bought a Jeep Wrangler that I never thought that I would own. Either to buy and keep or to buy, fix up, and sell. Never thought I'd get one of these. But to get the rest of the info and to get caught up, let's take a flashback to a 2-day younger and, dare I say, less wise Jake somewhere on the Massachusetts highway system who was filming an intro until his phone storage filled up. So, back to you, Jake.
Flashback.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. And you join me in, of course, the F350 7.3 Power Stroke on quite possibly the worst day that you could go and check out a vehicle. Because yes, we're going to check out another vehicle because I am an idiot. As you guys know, I have a soft spot, a very, very soft spot for Jeep Wranglers. And depending when this video comes out, you may or may not know that I have my personal 2-door Jeep Wrangler that I've had my whole adult life, or kind of adult. I don't know if I'm an adult. And then I have 3 others.
What?
3 others that I'm working on. And they are all Jeep TJ generation of Jeeps. Actually, I lied. One of them is the square headlight YJ version. But today, this evening I should say, on this cold, frigid... I'll take it from here, dummy. On this cold, rainy, and sleety evening, we were going to check out a Jeep JK generation of Wrangler, the second newest generation of Wrangler, produced from 2007 to 2017. And this one's rough. It's got high miles, and it's been sitting for the past 2 months. And because of the lovely weather we've been having this week, it's also been sitting practically in a snowbank. So I expected that it was going to need a jump start. So luckily his friend was nearby. I had jumper cables with me, but it was kind of a small side street, and I don't know where I was supposed to park the truck and trailer and somehow get it up next to the car, which was halfway in a snowbank. Luckily, he had a friend who lived nearby, and he came out and jump-started it for 15 minutes, to no avail. All the Jeep kept doing was just clicking. Turned the key and click. And this is an automatic, so there was no pop starting this one. So, nice kid, but wasn't the most mechanical. We'll just say it that way. I asked if he had a hammer, so I could crawl under the Jeep, which, again, was in a snowbank, in the slush. So I took the hammer and I crawled underneath the Jeep, tried to find the starter, which was kind of hard to find, and I gave it a few love taps with the hammer to see if that did anything. And it did nothing. So now I was in a predicament. I drove all the way out here, and I thought the Jeep ran. I knew it had been sitting for a while and might need a jump start, but this thing was dead. And I wanted to make an offer, but I needed to hear it run. But I thought about it for a little bit, and I called my dad and asked him, and I said, maybe I'll offer $1,000 if we can't get it started, and I'll say, you know, I'll give you $1,000. The motor could be toast, and it was a gamble. But instead, I asked if there was an auto parts store nearby or a Walmart, and I said, if you can give me a ride over there, then we can get a battery. I'll pay for the battery if the Jeep starts, and if it doesn't start, then you pay for the battery, and I'm not taking the Jeep, obviously. So we went to Walmart, I bought the battery, I installed the new battery, and the Jeep fired right up. What a day to be alive. So now that the Jeep was running, I could finally get it out of the snowbank, or attempt to at least, and get it on the trailer. Slight problem. The front passenger side tire was completely flat. On the rim, as you guys can see here. So I at least had to drive it to get it out of the snowbank. So I backed it out, and just a few feet more, I could turn it and have it lined up with the trailer. But I was not going to try to get it on the trailer with that flat. I didn't want to damage the trailer, and I didn't want to damage the rim. So if the Jeep had a spare on it, no problem, except for I didn't have any tools. Do you mind? Thank you. So unfortunately, I didn't have a socket wrench with me to get the lug nuts off. Luckily, the friend that came over with his Jeep Compass or Cherokee, whatever it was, he had the factory toolkit in there, which had a socket wrench. And luckily, it was the same size lug nuts. So I proceeded to pull the lug nuts off. I used the little tiny bottle jack or scissor jack to get the Jeep up in the air, again, crawling around in the slush. A great time. Got it up in the air, got the tire off, went to pull the spare off, and I then remembered that he told me that he had backed into a snowbank and cracked the mount, the spare tire mount. Well, unfortunately, it also bent both the studs that come out and hold the lug nuts onto the, hold the rim onto the spare tire mount. So I thought I had it, I wiggled it off, and I pulled the entire spare tire mount off, or a large portion of it, which is why there's just a hole back there now. So I said, great, well, there's no way I can get this off right here. I don't have the tools, he doesn't have the tools. I'm gonna have to just position the tire in a way that I can get it up onto the trailer. So I kind of pushed the rubber of the tire under the wheel so it wasn't cutting the ground or anything. I put the Jeep in 4 low because it was still snowing at this point and the deck of the trailer was quite slick. And somehow I got it on there and got it back here. And here we are. And here it is. Now, this is a 2007, and here it is in all its beautiful glory. The 2007 Jeep Wrangler Sahara. I actually didn't even realize that this was a Sahara. I actually, when I went over, because my great neighbor Steve over there let me park the truck and trailer because I came home late at night and didn't really have a place to put this thing. I couldn't put it on the road because it was still snowing, so they had plows out. But really, this is my first time getting a good look at this thing in the daylight, and I didn't realize it was a Sahara, but it's a 2007 Jeep Wrangler JK, the first year of this new body style. As you guys know, this is my first JK. I usually deal with these guys. I actually have an example of one right here that I just picked up a little while ago. This is an 04 or an 05. This is the TJ generation. This is basically what I have as my personal Jeep, and this one's also a Sahara, so it's kind of wild. 2 Saharas here now. But I wasn't really ever going to mess with this generation of Jeep because, you know, they're quite a bit more quirky than the TJ. They have a lot more tech, even though they're still pretty low tech. But the motor's a little bit harder to work on. They usually need more work than the good old straight 6. But this one, this Jeep is an interesting one. But for the most part, it's actually worse than it... No, I said that backwards. It's not as bad as it looks. It's not worse than it looks. It's not as bad as it looks. First of all, it's really dirty. It's got all these stickers on it. This aftermarket bumper, he said, was from Amazon or eBay, and it's, well, nice quality. At least the KC lights are, those are somewhat quality. And it's got the grill that I hate. I don't know. You guys let me know if you like that grill. I personally don't. I think I'm taking that one right off. But other than that, it's mostly stock. Has bushwhacker flares on it. No motor mods, no real interior mods, factory side steps. It's a Sahara, so it got these bigger wheels, which you get a great look at now when they're not attached to the tire. And, oh, that does come off. I don't know what that says. CM, not my initials. I don't know, does that say Hemi? I can tell you this thing does not have a Hemi. But again, this thing was sitting for 2 months, so it doesn't look the best. Obviously needs an alignment. Mostly unmolested for the most part. And being a newer generation Jeep, the JK generation, not the TJ, that of course means that there's something different under the hood, in a different hood latch. What the hell is this thing? What in the hell? Oh. Now it is a 6-cylinder, but it's not the 6-cylinder that I'm used to in a Jeep Wrangler. Instead of the straight 6 tractor motor, essentially, this one has a, well, it's essentially a minivan motor with 198,000 miles on it. Now, if this was the good old straight 6, then most would scoff at a number that high. Do you mind? I'm talking here. Thank you. If this were that good old straight 6, then most people would scoff at a number that high and say, oh, it's less than 200K. Oh boy, you're good for another 3 decades with that. But the nice thing is, no major leaks, except for up under the intake there. It's a little wet. Nothing I can't clean up. I think it might have had an exhaust leak somewhere, even though he said he did just fix an exhaust leak because it failed inspection for it. But this is a Jeep that was used and not taken that great care of, that's all. And also, before I trip and fall off the trailer, Another kind of obvious thing that's broken. Windshield wipers, not supposed to do that. Unless you do that on purpose. But one of these arms is broken. I think it's this one. Definitely needs a few things. And the interior, well, it's not really terrible. It's just filthy, really dirty. We have a crack in the gauge cluster there. Don't know what I'm gonna do about that one. Let me know if you think you can fix just the, or if you can repair just that plastic that goes across it, or if you think I need a whole new cluster, because that's not something I wanna do. I actually haven't pulled the seat covers off to see what they look like underneath. Yo, whoa. Yeah, let's just put that back on there like that. There we go. But it's an automatic, still in 4-low to get it up on the trailer. It's got the bowless soft top on it. The back seat is in the back of my truck. You know, it's not horrible. Just needs a good deep cleaning, a nice detailing in here, and that'll be spick and span good as new. Except for the seat. That will not. But really, I mean, there's no cracks in the plastic, no cracks on the dash. Steering wheel's a little worn out. It does have 198,000 miles on it, but not horrible. So what we're gonna try to do now is, I'm not driving it off the trailer with that spare tire not on the Jeep. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unstrap it. I'm gonna get my floor jack. I'm gonna jack the Jeep up. I'm going to pull that tire off, and then I'm going to mangle what's left of the spare tire mount to get those studs out so I can actually get the tire off of the mount, put it on the Jeep, start it up, drive it off the trailer. But I have a feeling that's gonna take longer than I'm hoping.
Hey, what do you think of the Jeep, huh? What do you think of the Jeep? You like it? You don't even want to look at it. What? Hello. Want to go for... Nope, I shouldn't have said that. Nope, just kidding. It doesn't drive yet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, before we actually take that tire off, we should probably get the other one out, the mangled mount. See if there's any way I think I can get that off. See, this lug nut's bent. That one, I don't even know what exactly is going on here. But we have to figure it out, because this has to go on that. All right, we'll start out with option 1. See if this does anything. Kind of just making some room here so I can see what exactly is going on. Okay, now I kind of see. I still have no idea though. Just as I thought. That was gross, is what that was. That sucked. Getting that tire off sucked. But I finally have the freaking studs or lug nuts, whatever those. Oh, it's freaking hot. But I have them off, and as you can see, I tried many methods, and now the tire and rim are free. So now, as I was going to do 2.5 hours ago or something now, we are going to take off the flat tire, take that one off. I already have it jacked up. I'm gonna put that one on here, and then I'm gonna have to bring this somewhere to get mounted. I don't think I did any damage. That's just rubber, I think. So time to get that one off, put that one on, put that on here, and bring this one to a shop. This one holds air, and it does. Hallelujah. Alas, we finally have a Jeep I can actually drive on the road. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to do the first drive with it today. I'm very curious to see how it drives, if it drives. We'll drove up onto the trailer, but
That's 10 feet, because the Jeep might actually have to stay on the trailer for tonight in order to conserve real estate around here. There's a lot of cars. But because I'm curious too, we're gonna hop in it. And oh, keys in it. Let's see if it does anything. It does start. It keeps beeping. It is low on fuel. Traction control lights on because I have it in 4 low. But other than that, it's definitely leaking from somewhere. It's like a little crack in the muffler. So that exhaust leak doesn't look too bad. I'll probably end up just replacing the whole muffler because I could patch that, but it's kind of right out in the open, and it's pretty rusted, so it kind of looks like crap. And it'll look worse if I just patch it and keep it on there. So I'll probably end up replacing that. But in the next video, in the next episode with this Jeep Wrangler, we'll get it off the trailer, or it will be off the trailer by the time you guys see it next. We'll be able to take it for a drive. We'll pull it back in the garage and see everything that's wrong with it. Make a list and see what we need. So thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Happy motoring. Oh, and now would probably be a good time to tell you, I paid $2,000 for this Jeep.